I never thought I would be doing this again.
I have been salty about Security Breach for 3 years, and trust me, there's still many more to come. This game has failed to amaze me for too long, but there was one section of the game I don't think anyone has looked into fully. Can you guess what it is? It's the Burntrap boss, and it is so much worse than you remember. What was Steel Wolf thinking?
This elevator does not appear to follow any safety protocols. I do not think it can survive more than one trip.
So that was a fucking lie.
You head down to the very deepest depths of the Pizzaplex. No, the second deep, no. Third, fourth deepest depths of the Pizzaplex, and it looks absolutely dilapidated. On release, this area was actually better though, because as of the latest version, the generators you hit activate the endos that were usually lifeless. And the endos basically just make you look backwards the whole time. So there's a decent chance of making you completely miss the reveal of the Fnaf 6 pizzeria sign. There's also this staff bot that literally has no functionality other than providing an extra jump scare for the compilations. When you get inside, there's actually 2 additional generators that literally have no functionality and serve no purpose as well. You head down the hole in the pizzeria and you see the Blob lurking down there. Yes, his name's the Blob. When did we get so uncreative? Freddy provides a lot of deep sounding dialogue with very vague implications here, and I was pretty off-put my first time hearing this because of his tone of voice. Which is what I would say if anyone knew what he was actually talking about and referencing here. But funnier than that is the fact that these voice lines are way too long for the section they're played at, so you might finish walking through this area and start a cutscene before he's even halfway done. Yep, new PB. This cinematic brings us into a vent, and to this charging station, revealing the return of Springtrap, with a new name, Burntrap. In my opinion, the Burntrap reveal is not iconic, and it is not exciting. Taking this at face value, before the Mimic retconned all this. This throws away the story we cared about in Fnaf 6 and undoes all the loose ends that were tied up, as if they didn't already do that 2 minutes ago. Just recently, we even got confirmation from Scott, the creator of Fnaf, that Burntrap was never supposed to be alive, just an Easter egg dead on the floor.
Burntrap was never supposed to move. He was supposed to just be something you saw in the corners.
Hey Google, what's the definition of development hell? Disappointment aside, let's talk about the only thing scary about this part is the past testing of this game. Burntrap will try to hack Freddy, and you'll need to find which of the 3 TVs he's on, and burn him for the 3rd time. What's that one Albert Einstein quote again? Doing this task will be complicated though, as the animatronics that somehow got all the way down here won't make it easy. Wait, actually, how did they get down here? It was the staff bot. Oh my god, he summoned them. This is the main villain of Security Breach. Freddy will warn you of who's coming, which is completely random. Quick! Chica's near! But that's okay. To deal with her, all you gotta do is shut the door and she'll go away. Monty climbs through a single vent, and to deal with him, you shut the vent. And if you need to, you can even use the cameras. You can check cams? Has anyone ever done this before? What? It's even the point. The doors are right here. Why would you use the cameras? I don't know. Ask the rest of Security Breach. That's the rest of Security Breach. Now, so far, this sounds like pretty shallow gameplay. And don't get me wrong, it is. To deal with Roxy, you'll need to what the fuck? Roxy is the stem of every single issue I have with this level. If Roxy approaches, Freddy will warn you with an extremely misguiding voice line.
The doors will not hold her. Hide!
Want to know what you should do to survive this? Hop in Freddy and use Chica's voice box to scare her away.
Hide!
What part of the word hide? Up to this point, the player has had no use for this mechanic other than opening gates, because why would you need to scare away animatronics when they're not a current threat while you're inside Freddy? His use of vocabulary is insanely misleading. Every other instance he notions Gregory to hop inside of him, he uses phrases like hop in. So hide doesn't even imply in his stomach, nor does it imply using the voice box. When Roxy makes it to your door after however long she spends sporadically turning and running through the hallway, shutting the door proves to be ineffective as she just opens it. Without knowing about the voice box, Roxanne will refuse to leave your office for the entire rest of the night and spend that time pretending like she can't see exactly where you are. And this is assuming Freddy isn't even being hacked currently, making it so hopping in Freddy isn't an option. This just seems like a door with less reliable steps. A bit later, the Blob's tentacles will begin to push through the vents on the ceiling and the floor.
Tentacles! This isn't anime!
This adds a layer of danger to moving around, and I think it's a good system on paper. But in practice, they have little telegraphing and make you stand in a corner away from everything for the whole rest of the night.
Great level, guys. Look at this crazy design right here.
As they don't just stay in one spot, they actively move around and search for you. Is what I wouldn't say if they had actually explained the defense mechanic. Alas, there was an unexplained, unintuitive way of getting rid of the Blob's presence. To do this, you'll have to get inside Freddy. You wanna know something that makes this a lot funnier? While you're using Freddy for this and Roxy, Freddy will randomly drop to low power and kick you out. When this happens, he will run to a recharge station. And it is very likely that since you are using him in times of danger, he will drop to 0 and kick you out into danger, inadvertently killing you. Multiple times, he dropped me right into the tentacles or Roxy herself. And in case most of that didn't sound tedious, Burntrap can take random intervals of your time to sit in rooms while you both wait for something to happen. This can take minutes. But if you do survive that, you get the ending cutscene. Which is what I would say if it didn't have a chance of outright killing you mid-cinematic or credits. Oh, you want one more thing on top of that? This game actually gives you a checkpoint here, which doesn't happen anywhere else in the entire game without a save station, implying that before and on the latest patch, it deceives you into thinking your run back is way longer than it already is. So now that I'm done explaining all this, you're probably wondering how people actually beat this. I mean, it doesn't explain some of the core defense mechanics to you, and it sounds incredibly luck-based, right?
That is definitely not how they envisioned it in concept.
You gonna get me right? You're so stupid. Yeah, cry. Okay, just go away, please.
That can't be how it's supposed to be played. Right?
Since players had no clue how to block Roxy with Freddy, most players ended up enduring with Roxy in their office the entire night. Now, that sounds awful, right? Yes, you replied. This clip of Markiplier sums it up pretty well.
Get me in, let me in! Just good old what?
People also found that you can station Freddy in front of a door and you can just completely nullify anything trying to enter because of the mass that is Mr. Fazbear himself blocking the way. This is now referred to as the Fredor strategy. I also found that spamming the door on Roxy results in her just running away, as if it has the same effect as the voice box. Oh, she's running away! No way that's consistent! I don't know if that's something anyone else knew about, but I found it while making this video. The night is so easy to cheese that interacting with the intended systems it gives you only complicate the cycle with danger. All of these systems either result in a terribly designed, broken, unintended, janky mess of unbalanced menial back and forth running to and from the bed to get Burntrap every so often, or a terribly designed tutorialist, broken, intended janky mess of random chance telegraphs, unreliable Fazbears, and unbalanced menial back and forth running. And this remains unchanged 3 years later. This clip of Markiplier sums it up really well. I want you guys to say it with me. What part of the game has bad mechanics?
Burntrap.
What part of the game completely undermines the endings of the previous games?
Burntrap.
What part of the game had to be completely retconned to calm fan outrage?
Burntrap.
What part of the game is absolutely meaningless plot-wise? Oh, shit. There are ways you can design incredible Fnaf gameplay. Take a look at Fnaf 6, The Joy of Creation, or Juniors. This fight just fails to do anything right, and what it does try to do right, it can't even do. I'll give them some credit. There are neat ideas in place here, but none of them work together at all, so you know what? I'm taking that credit back, Steelwool. In execution, there is no multitasking and little to no resource management, which are some of the core elements of creating tension in Fnaf. The power here is so extravagant that you will never run out, and this is a severely overlooked segment when people discuss this game positively or negatively. This boss fight is tragically anticlimactic, and it is absolutely unacceptable that this is the final conclusion of a $40 product. So how could Steel Wolf fix it? Case in point, can we just put this guy back in hell, please?